Hey, good morning. So I'm going to shoot this video again since the live version lost connection, and who knows how long I talked for, so I'm just going to do this and video it and then upload it for you guys. So let's talk about hitches. In the three classifications, you have knots, bends, and hitches. Hitches are usually used to attach a line around an object or to an object. It could be a ring, it could be a spar, a stanchion, a handrail, could be a post. Could be a lot of objects, so, but I'll show you some of the ones that we teach here, and I'll talk a little bit about them. For the first one we're going to talk about is the most simple, which is a clove hitch. Clove hitch simply goes over the top of the object. You cross over the top of it like you would to make an X. Follow the standing part back through. Now you have a clove hitch. Excellent way to quickly tie off a line. Maybe hang a fender over the side of your vessel, hang some heaving lines up or coiled lines up inside of your bosun hole or somewhere like that. So real quick, real easy. Problem is, if it's subject to any kind of movement, you can, or rolling or things like that, you can make it come out, right? So it is not a secure application for all sorts of things, but it's a great base to use for learning some other ones. But again, just for simple jobs, the clove hitch. Come over the top, cross over the standing part, come back, throw it down and tighten. Not really good for a whole lot of lateral things. Again, you can roll it out, you can make it fall, so not really good for a lot of lateral type of movements or that stuff, but real good for quick applications and jobs. Again, I'll show you one more time. You cross over the top of the object, bring this over the standing part right here, and then your standing part, you're going to follow it right back in the opposite direction. And that's a clove hitch. Okay. Some other options. Some people like to use what's called a slip clove hitch. A slip clove hitch does the same thing. I cross over the top, but instead of bringing the working end through it, I'm actually going to bring a bite through it. Okay. This is a quick way to get it undone, right? And then I can pull it off. Again, I cross over the top, cross over the standing part, and just bring a bite up and through. Okay. Now, that is subject to coming out too, just like the rest of your clove hitches. So if you wanted to add a little more security to that, you could take your standing part and just make a half hitch over the top of the bite. This way, it's more secure, right? It still allows me, though, that access to pull out and then pull it off. Okay. Again, I'll show you again how to do a locking slip clove hitch. So I'm going to come over the top. I'll bring my bite through. Okay. Then I'm going to take the standing part of the line and I'm just going to half hitch it over the bite. And now I have a locking slip clove hitch. That's a lot of words for me to say this early, I guess. And then you can pull and it will come out. Okay. So those are a couple we can talk about. The next two we'll talk about are the stopper hitch and the rolling hitch. So to me, the rolling hitch has two variations to tie it in, but the Coast Guard makes a very distinct difference between them when they're tying them for the able seaman test. But I believe that there are two different types of rolling hitches, and that stopper hitch is more of a class of hitches. Okay, that's how I interpret it. But so what we're going to use this one for is to more secure way to secure a line to a spar, a stanchion, a handrail, a ring, a post, something like that. But where we don't want it to move when it's under tension. We don't want it to be able to slide horizontally or vertically or laterally from where it's at. So for this one, the stopper hitch, I'm going to make a round turn, which means that I've come completely around the object that I'm securing it to, right? Both lines are parallel. And then all I need to do is, just like a clove hitch, add a second, or come over the top. Right. Now, when I pull tension on this, it's not going to come out. But yet when I let it go, I can adjust it and I can pull. I can slide it and I can pull. Okay. And one thing you might notice when you tie it, when you see it like in a Coast Guard diagram or online sometimes or in knot books, you may look at something that may look something like this. For the purposes of demonstration, you may see it in that kind of configuration in a diagram or in a book of something. But in order to make it secure, you're going to need to put it all together, right? Again, when I pull on it, nothing. Take that off, I can adjust it. I put pressure on it, it stays. Again, I'll show that to you one more time. Okay, so we're going to come over the top. We're simply going to make a round turn and then cross it over like we would for a clove hitch and come back through. Okay. Want to make a line more secure, make it off for anchoring the line that's going to somewhere, or just have a good anchor point, this is a good way to do it. Okay. The second of that is what the Coast Guard calls a rolling hitch. And a rolling hitch is used to maybe you have a line jammed on your capstan of your sailboat. You've been cranking, now it's all cattywampus, but you've taken out all this line for your sail to make it tight, and now it's jammed. Well, I don't want to let go of that line that I've already made up, right? Because then I'd have to re-crank it again. So what I could do is I could make this rolling hitch off to that line, forward of the jam, clear the capstan, put the line back on the capstan, take it out, and then remove my rolling hitch. So the way that I do a rolling hitch is this. It's going to look very similar to the start of a clove hitch. I'm going to cross over the top with the X. I'm going to cross over again. But now I'm going to come up and split these two right here. Okay. Again, same thing. Secure way. When I have tension on it, it won't move, but as soon as I let that tension off, I can slide it up and down, right? And I'll show you again in the Coast Guard diagram, that's going to look a little bit different when they're first showing you. It's going to look something like this, okay? That's maybe what your diagram is going to look like, something like that, okay? Again, I need to put it all together, snug it down, make sure it's secure, and now I have the proper rolling hitch, okay? Again, I'm not even really tightening this down and it's still staying. Let me show you again. So I'm going to bring it over the top, like I would for a clove hitch. Come over once, come over twice, and right here, split this pair right here. I have a rolling hitch, okay? Nice and secure. If I had a line that was taken from the deck winch or the windlass or something like that, a mooring line, and I needed to transfer it from that gypsy head or that capstan to a set of bits, I might be able to put one of these on my mooring line, secure it forward of the bit that I need to work on, and apply this to the mooring line. I can take it off after of that rolling hitch. I can take that line off, put it on my set of bits, and now I haven't lost any line. Let's do this again. I'm going to come over, okay, like I would for a clove hitch. I'm going to come over a second time, and I'm going to come up through, okay? And that's how you tie that. Okay, so we have also a round turn and 2 half hitches, and an anchor bend or a fisherman's bend. And bends are usually joined to join two lines together, but in this case, its true form is a hitch, okay? So for the round turn and 2 half hitches, I'm going to come completely around, again, making a round turn. I'm going to take my working end, and I'm going to pass it between those two, right? And then I'm going to take it a second time, come over the top again, pass it through. Now, this one can move laterally. It might not as easy, but it can move laterally. You need to know that if you're going to use it for something. But another way to excellently anchor a piece of line off to a handrail, to a spar, to a stanchion, to something like that. Okay, and I'll show you again. Round turn and 2 half hitches. I've made my round turn. Gonna come bring my working part through here, and then do it again. Okay. Similarly, oh, I can't talk today. I'll show you what a anchor bend or a fisherman's bend is. Same principle, slightly different execution. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my round turn, but I'm not going to snug it up to what I'm making it off to, because I'm going to pass my first half hitch through. Okay. My second one, I'll bring over the top again and through. The advantage of this is that when you tighten down on your line, it's going to cinch down on your first half hitch, okay? It's going to pinch it in there. Give it a little more security. I think that's why they use it on small anchors and stuff like that. But again, this can move up, this can slide up and down or vertically or horizontally, so be cognizant of that. But let me show you again one more time how I'm going to do an anchor bend or a fisherman's bend. Okay. I'm going to come around, making a round turn. I usually put my finger in here, right? I'm going to point my finger in the direction that I want my working end to go through. Or go. So, bring it through. Okay. And then do it again one more time, up and over for 2 half hitches. Right? Okay. And last one I'll talk about real quick. Let's talk about a timber hitch. Timber hitch cannot be used on things that are smooth, the settling bottles, pipes, concrete, plastic, tubing, things like that. It needs to go on something rough, like a piece of wood. It doesn't even work very well on a swab handle or a mop handle, right? You want to use it on something with a real rough surface. But the way that you would make your timber hitch is to come around the top, or come around the standing part of the line, and then back onto myself. Okay, I'm just going to make a series. I'm going to do 3 here. Okay. Snug it down. It's going to grab on those rough surfaces if I have rough surfaces. If I'm doing something like towing a log or something like that, I'm going to finish this out by putting 2 half hitches in it. Okay, and the 2 half hitches will allow me those will be the pullers, right? My timber hitch will be the anchor, and my 2 half hitches, if I was going to have a log or something, would look something like this. I might not want to do that with 300 feet of line, by the way. And that's how it would look. So this would become the anchor, and these would be the pulling part, right? That's the way you would do that. All right, guys. That was just a quick tutorial on how to do that. Let me show you one more time, by the way, for you that might not have seen it. So for my timber hitch, I'm going to come over the top of the standing part and then back around myself. Just going to continue to make turns. Okay. 3 is going to be sufficing for this today. Okay. And then I'm going to snug down on it. Okay. All right, guys, thank you for your time. I hope this works out better than the last video did, and we'll talk to you later. Shoots.